Hi guys, welcome back to another episode on Beauty Within. It's your favorite duo, Rowena and Felicia. Basically, we represent the entire whole circle from dry and dehydrated to oily acne prone.
In our previous episode, we covered all the different types of cleansers you can find, from our favorite gel kinds to cream to foam, scrubs, and even powder enzyme cleansers. You can tell we love cleansing as a step.
So today we're going to be talking in depth about the double cleansing method, what it's great for, when you might want to use this in your routine, and what products you'll find that work best to really break down the dirt and the grime, the bacteria from the day and get the most comfortable and glowing cleansed skin.
So today we'll be diving headfirst into the beautiful world of cleansing oils and cleansing balms. Both are Fel's babies. Every time we get sent balms, I just immediately try.
So to show you guys how they actually work and put each of the balms and oils to the ultimate test, Ro and I are going to be doing a blind testing where we don't know which balm is which or which oil is from a specific brand or what type it is, and see which performs the best. So make sure you watch till the very end to get the verdict on which one plays out the best.
So let's do a quick recap of what double cleansing is. Double cleansing is one of the most effective steps to make sure your face is clean and makeup free.
So personally, I feel like double cleansing is an essential part of my routine, especially after filming or sometimes even when wearing like thicker sunscreens that I just feel like you really need to melt it down. But especially waterproof mascara. But that's something that you haven't really gotten into until recently, right?
Yeah, I think cleansing balms are still a bit intimidating for me. I'm being honest. I like my oils. I've grown to love my oils. I think in the beginning, it was just because I wore such stubborn waterproof makeup, especially the mascara part, that it just burned my eyes. Like no matter how hard, and I know you're supposed to like gently but like firmly, you know, massage. No matter how soft or how hard I did it, it was still there. And then the whole time I just can't see, and then I'm turning on the water and there's black water everywhere. Just not the best look. But I've learned to just first go in with like a makeup cleanser for the eye area that's very gentle, and then I'll use the oil cleanser and then a gel cleanser. And sometimes even on nights that I'm not wearing makeup, if I do have sunscreen on, I'll use the oil cleanser.
So those are our experiences. What really is double cleansing? As the name suggests, it is a two-step cleansing process that involves first starting off with an oil-based cleanser to gently break down, dissolve makeup, and sometimes even, as I said, really like thick and slightly comedogenic pore clogging ingredients that could be hard to take off with just a normal cleanser. Then cleansing again using your favorite water-based cleanser.
The major benefits of double cleansing is that it provides the most thorough cleanse without leaving the skin feeling stripped, because it's super gentle on the skin. It's great for the skin barrier. Your skin will be happy, and you don't really need to exert force when you're getting rid of your makeup as you would sometimes with like the wipes or the cloths.
Because you're essentially letting the oil do its job and break down everything.
And I think that's another thing, allowing the oil to just kind of sit there for a little before you start working in.
Yes.
I think that I learned patience.
Timing. And a lot of questions that we get if you need to use double cleansing if you're not wearing makeup. And the simple answer is, yes, you can, because there's nothing harmful about it. We just don't feel that you necessarily have to, because there's nothing really like thick to really break down. But if you just enjoy the process, then of course, go for it. All right, now let's break down the two forms of oil-based cleansers, the balms and the oils. What's the difference?
So between cleansing balms and cleansing oils, I know you've been a lot more into balms lately. Is there a reason why?
I feel like you get a lot of textural excitement from it because each balm is slightly different. And there's just been like innovations of formulations that have made the texture like this whipped mousse that I just feel like glides so nicely over my face and it turns into an oil. So you get like the best of both worlds, whereas the oil is just like an oil.
I think I'm still stuck in the stage. It's like, if it's not broken, why fix it?
Why fix it?
If the cleansing oil is working well and I still have like a huge bottle that I've already been using for over half a year, I want to first finish that before diving into other products.
So for cleansing balm specifically, you will want to look at the type of oils because different oils will react to different people's skin type differently. Some might be a little bit more linoleic while others are more oleic. So you'll find sea buckthorn oil, you'll find camellia oil, you'll find an array of them. And they're all actually really beneficial for most skin types, especially even oily skin, because as we said before, oils aren't bad for oily skin. It just depends on what it is. And one thing to note is that many cleansing balms do contain polyethylene, which is a common microplastic to give the product that thicker consistency. And this is why some people might not enjoy balms and you prefer to use cleansing oils if you have something against that ingredient. So that's just something to take note of.
Another concern with polyethylene is that it may be potentially harmful to the environment, but what we found is that now within all cleansing balms, the ingredient, like there's very, very small percentage of it, and if it is in there, it's usually in liquid form, so it doesn't harm the environment as
the bees
would.
It's kind of like alcohol. You can't say it's just straight up bad because it does come down to the formulation and how much of it is put in there. So just something to know. So now cleansing oils, it's in the bottles that you pump out, 2 to 3 pumps. It does the same thing, dissolves all your makeup and impurities. So through my experience, I've used cleansing oils that can be very thick and then you wash it off with water and it still leaves that layer of film.
Oh yeah.
Right?
It's like olive oil.
Yeah, and then the water just goes, but
it just comes off your, like the water droplets are like,
yeah, like you had Vaseline on your face or something. And I'm like, okay, those are the types of experiences that I think if you just happen to use something like that, it puts you off.
turn you off.
But then there are other great formulations of cleansing oils where it just washes off.
It emulsifies, and then it just turns into water.
Yeah. And it actually leaves your face feeling very nourished. Like you...
Soft, supple, cleansed, but not a stripped cleanse.
Yeah.
Because it's oil.
It is.
Ah, beautiful.
And one that comes to mind that I really enjoyed for a long time was the Innisfree green apple one. So there's a different variety, but it comes down to trial and error because I think it was vegetable oil formulated in one that was so thick. Yeah.
All right, theory over. Let's play and put these to the ultimate test, shall we?
Yes! Now we move on to the most exciting part of the video, which is when things get a little real.
We all have our preferences for certain brands, ingredients, and consistencies, and sometimes we get super excited when we see the packaging of a product or how they market it on the bottle, and they may or may not have affected our judgment or verdict of a product, so we'll find out soon.
Yes, we shall.
Very, very soon.
And what if all the packaging is removed and we get to look at the product for what it is, bare naked?
AKA the skincare blind test.
Doo-doo. As you guys can see, we both have a set of travel-sized containers in front of us, which our lovely team member kindly prepared.
And here are also some waterproof liners as well as lip stains.
And these are the ones that are historically the hardest to take off. So, do you have a preference whether you want the lip stain or the liner? Flip. You wanted it, you got it.
If we're gonna go for bold, I'm gonna go for red.
Okay, yes, bold red lip, who doesn't love that? And I think this is a really good tester, the Kat Von D tattoo liner, because it's supposed to stay all day. But you know what? I'm just gonna put a stroke of the gel and a stroke of the pencil, because they're both like heavy duty.
So to thicken up your within.
Yes.
I'm gonna be writing beauty, she'll be writing within.
With my left hand.
Do you want me to do it for you?
I'll be like, double. Wait, I'm writing within, right? Yeah. I'm like shaking. Ah, cute. Okay, I'll laugh so hard if I run out of forearm space. I'm actually
Oh my god,
shaking.
I'm realizing this looks like blood.
Blood. This is like in school where you had swimming carnivals and stuff and you needed to write your team name on your body.
What?
Rue, beauty.
I'm gonna be writing beauty, she'll be writing within.
I'm gonna be writing beauty, she'll be writing within.
Within, all right. Should we just go with within? So actually, I really love these pen liners the most because they give the most precision.
Me too.
Yeah.
So right before we get started, the two things we're gonna be looking out for. The first one is the consistency and how well or not well it takes off makeup. And the second thing will be trying to guess the price.
Okay, so let's take number one. Oh my gosh, you know what? This is painful for me because it's so familiar, but without the jar, I feel blinded.
Eucalyptus?
Actually, I would use this for half my face. You only need a little bit of cleansing balms, and especially because we have tight surface area to work with. Oh yeah. And then, so the thing with cleansing balms is that it works with the heat of your hands and your face to then break it down. And I can see now, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Wow.
Ding. So that was a success.
I'm actually very impressed.
Welcome to the world of cleansing balms. All right, so moving on to 2.
Number 2.
Bing. Oh.
They smell the same.
Eucalyptus. I know what this one is because it's one of my top favorites, but it's going to be interesting to pit it against them one after another. I've never done this. You know what? With the eyeliner, this one isn't taking it away as effectively.
Is that the liquid or is that the smudge stick?
No, I laid them on. They all have it on. Yeah, so there we go. Same amount of rubbing. You can still see the end.
Second one feels more luxurious. It feels more balmy.
Balmy.
It emulsifies better. The oil just feels more luxurious.
Like it's a little thicker.
Our third contestant. Oh, this one has a very fragrant scent.
It smells like a candle, like some woody undertones.
Interesting. This one has a more, you know, when you cook fat,
Yeah.
it looks like lard.
Wow, okay, I just have to commend this eyeliner. It is definitely long wearing.
Well, the first one came off. The second one is like 80-90% off. This one's still pretty on.
Yeah. Hello, darkness, my old friend. My arm's getting tired.
So the texture of the second
difference-
one is still the best. The first one did a good job. It's very straightforward. This one's also very straightforward, but if I had to number them, I'd do 2, 1, 3. What about you?
The third one that we just applied turns the most cleansing oil-like towards the end. Yeah, it's more lightweight.
Oh yeah, it is.
All right, fourth one. Ooh, this has a pink hue to it.
Oh.
You know why I enjoy this one? Because the scent. The scent is a giveaway.
I feel so bad for saying it's lard-like,
That is the
But-
consistency.
but it's even more so than the third one. It's doing a good job at taking it off.
My H is staying put quite stubbornly.
Oh. Uh-oh.
You see, now I don't know if it's because like the longer the eyeliner stays on the skin,
Yeah.
the more it sinks in. So I'm not sure if it's like the fairest, but let's apply a little more. Okay, so even with a second application, the H is still quite visible. But you know, the one thing I do enjoy about this one over the other ones is that slight floral scent. Ding! 5. Slightly green.
This one's making me work a little harder.
So the one thing to note is that if you haven't used a lot of cleansing balms, I feel like right off the bat they do feel very, very similar. But it's the how quickly it melts into an oil that sets them apart, I feel like. And then the thickness of it. Ooh, this one's actually taking off the tea quite well. You can still see it though. Dude, these eyeliners are insane. If you really want to stay all day.
All right, 6. Beautiful blue sorbet.
Wow. Ooh, this consistency is so
Ooh.
different. It's almost like a moisturizer.
It is. It has a slight floral scent too. And this is like a real sorbet. Oh, look at that. I like this one.
I like the consistency, but it's definitely not doing as well of a job to take off makeup. But it feels very nourishing.
It does.
So this is probably a balm that I think you would use if you're not wearing heavy makeup. If you have sunscreen, if you enjoy double cleansing.
Last one.
Last one.
I feel like this one melted and came back to life.
It's like melted ice cream. The texture is like Vaseline.
Is that you, Vaseline, dear friend?
Wow, this one is not taking away the W. It's like
I
legit.
just want a balm to not work, but they're all working.
Dude, look at that. It's not even coming off
I don't want to come off.
at all. Okay, let me think. Okay, I'm gonna order them.
Ready for the reveal?
What did you do?
3, 5, 7, 6, 4, 2, 1. Just gut.
Okay.
Pew! Cleansing balm.
What is it?
First one is Good Molecules, $6 per ounce. The second one is Versed, 7.8 per ounce. The third one is Pond's,
Oh my gosh.
2.95 per ounce.
So that's the least?
I put it at the most because I thought the smell. Fourth one is I'm From. It's the Fig Cleansing Balm at $8 per ounce. And then it's Farmacy, the fifth one, which is $10 per ounce. Number 6 is,
that as the most
wow, number 6 is Wishful, Clean Genie Cleansing Butter at 10.4 per ounce.
Damn.
And number 7, Beauty Pie.
Wait, so this wishful one was the most expensive?
Yeah.
Wow, and that was actually the one that didn't take it off as well.
My goodness.
That was a hard test because it's like they all did very similar things, which is something that I always repeat, like cleansing balms do very similar things. But it comes down to the scent. It comes down to that subtle textural difference. I feel like the price difference didn't correlate to how well it took off makeup. Yeah, so the more affordable ones in this actually worked quite well.
Lol, I can't believe I put Pond's as the most expensive.
You know what? Remember how I said I really enjoy the Ponds?
You do?
Yeah.
I was like, this is so fragrant. It smells bougie. It's the most expensive. And then, nope.
Yeah, because it really does work well.
That was cleansing balms. Now we're moving on to cleansing oils. We already have something written on our arms. So we're gonna do the same thing we did with the cleansing balms. We're gonna go through every single one, try to take it off, and rank it by effectiveness and rank it by price. Ready?
Right.
Go. Number 1.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't know if I like this scent.
quite herbaceous. You're not really doing what you're supposed to.
No, it isn't. Yours too?
Yeah. I like oils because they're a little bit less opaque, so you can see really like if it's working. This one is doing a good job of taking off the moss. It's not doing a good job taking off the Kat Von D.
Yeah, so same. Like you can still see the outline of the heart on there, and that was the last one to go on. And I've put like 3 layers on there.
All right, so that is that.
That is that.
That is 1.
The one that looks like dehydrated pee. Hydrate
This person
yourself.
needs to drink more water.
This is much more like just natural. There's no additional anything in it.
It's also a bit herbaceous. Oh, this one, struggling a little as well.
Like the part of the R, you can see the outline on
Oh,
it.
so balms so far are outperforming
Oils.
for you. This is about the same. It's just the liquid liner is not budging.
Yeah, it's hardcore, right? So actually the balms really took that away much
This
more
is doing a
effectively.
better job actually. So
Than the
2 is a
first?
bit better than 1. It's a bit more faded.
I think that was also slightly thicker.
3.
Oh, this one is runny. Oh my God, this smells almost the same as 1.
This is a faint, a bit more faint.
Yeah. Ooh, I do like the consistency of this one. Oh yeah, it's much lighter. This actually did really well.
Off?
Yeah, not off, but better than the previous one at a much thinner consistency. So actually, this third one is probably the most effective thus far. And I enjoy it because it's lightweight.
It's super liquidy. This one for sure is thicker than this.
So I feel like those would be really good for dry skin. Oh, this one's
Whoa.
like cloudy.
Do I smell Camilla?
It's very subtle. It's almost
Very
like
light.
no scent.
Moss is off.
Okay, so this actually did well. There are some areas where I went like really heavy-handed and it's not.
So the third one still worked best for you.
Yeah, so far. I enjoyed 4. 3 and 4 are like front runners right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This one's a little more like goopy.
It's the thickest one, I would say. But like also
Yeah.
light, not like vegetable oil feeling.
Dude, dude, dude. It's like a serum-y, it's like an oily serum-y consistency.
Man, the liquid liner is not budging, like compared to all the other ones.
So in terms of like being able to melt heavy makeup, I don't think it's as effective as 3 and 4.
The O is there.
The O is there.
The O is not going anywhere.
Dude, but same, you can see the F. You know what's interesting though? I feel like as a whole, they were more gentler and didn't break it down as much as the cleansing balms.
I'm gonna do that final wipe through.
Okay.
Wow, the fourth one actually took the most off.
So this one we're actually pretty similar.
Yeah.
Our last ones, whatever number 5 was, did not break it down as much. All right, so we double cleansed, followed with a water-based cleanser, and wow, oh God.
Slightly sensitive and irritated, but
I think in general, the cleansing balms did a better job at really breaking down heavy duty makeup than the cleansing oils, which is a bit more subtle. So in terms of pricing.
and I guess one thing before that as well, hold your horses, is if you wear heavy makeup, then how effective a cleansing balm or oil at taking off heavy duty makeup should be something you consider. But if you just wear light makeup or not as heavy duty waterproof makeup, then it's,
This is fine.
yeah. Like most of these will be fine.
So I feel like 3 and 4 took makeup off the best. 5 did not, was the most underperforming. 1 and 2 were very similar, but I don't like the scent of 1. I'm just gonna go by that, by performance based, and see how we go.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put 3, 4, and then like this.
Okay, I'm gonna go based off of feelings. 4, I think I know what it is. I'm gonna make this the most expensive. All right, 4, 5, 2, 1, 3.
Bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. Okay, number 1 was the go-to fancy face. Go-to price per ounce is $13.30. DHC is $4.18. iUnique is $2.69. Tatcha is $9.40. Be the Skin is $5.20. Wow, so go-to is the most expensive by quite a bit, and then Tatcha.
Really?
Yeah.
This is most expensive for you, this is least expensive for me.
Yeah, because it worked the best. And it's the most affordable.
And we have it on our shop.
And we have it on our shop.
So for Fel, the iUnique is the most expensive. For me, it's the least expensive.
So similar to cleansing balms, the affordable ones didn't mean that it wasn't effective.
Yeah.
It worked very effectively. And I think the consistency difference was also very apparent.
I'm still shook.
Are you? What are you most shocked about? Because
I
you
don't know.
use the base.
I think it goes back to what we just said, like a bit in the intermission of just because something doesn't take off heavy duty makeup doesn't mean it doesn't do a good job of cleansing. So for me, if I were to wear makeup, it'd be CC cream and non-waterproof mascara. And the Be The Skin does a really good job of taking that off. And I think if you follow that up with the gel cleanser, it's just, you're good to go. But if you do wear heavy duty makeup, then something like the Tatcha or the iUnique will probably work a lot better. Fascinating.
I'm very intrigued. And I love how it's got a lot of nourishing qualities for your
Yeah.
skin. So love cleansing oils. So we hope you guys learned a thing or two. Hope you guys are as mind blown as we are in different ways. But it was very fun to see the actual ways that they played out. So if you have any other additional questions about any of the things we mentioned, leave them below.
Okay, and to wrap up our videos, you guys know we've been ending every episode with a thoughtful question. This is one of my favorite questions. If you could do anything in the world and you cannot fail, like you'll succeed in whatever it is that you do, what would you do?
I'd be a carpenter. I love that. Bob the Builder. I like making things using hands, hand-eye.
You did say if one of your dream jobs is photo, setting the
photography.
flat lays,
Yeah.
flat lays, and like designing you're actually really good at that.
Anything in that realm. I like seeing something out of nothing. Yeah. What about you? What's your dream job? What's calling your heart?
I think I'd be doing what I'm doing right now.
Perfect.
I think just very happy where I am, grateful for all the opportunities we've been given. And what I've learned over the years that with hard work, persistence, dedication, and sacrifices, and also trying to be positive, optimistic about outcomes and your circumstances does help you get to where you want to be eventually.
All right, guys. So that wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon in the next one. Bye. It's kind of like the way that we approach alcohol, right? You can't say alcohol is bad because it does a plethora of things, and it depends. Okay.
You're so serious and going many places there.
So as you can see, we both, sorry, okay. We both have a leg exposed.